Absolutely disgusting. A reaction image circulating online, many are familiar with the image of a news reporter captioned absolutely disgusting. Despite knowing the general area of the broadcast, the news station, and various other details, the internet is still left in the dark regarding the image. With all the available generalizing information, it makes the lack of context an intriguing online hunt. And as we explore each scarce detail, we try to learn what was absolutely disgusting. The year is 2008, and man, it was an interesting time for the internet. We're 3 years past the birth of YouTube, and successful online personalities are growing. 9gag has been created, memes are starting to grow, and 4chan is 5 years old. Oh, how the time flies. In a time of rage comics and flash games, the internet started to build its own culture, and boy, it was interesting. Go ahead and watch any YouTube video or visit any web archive from 2008, and you'll see what I mean. It's May, and author Mike Sachs uploads a bunch of pictures to his website called Photos of TV, which is a compilation of photographs of various TV shows and news reports. And these aren't like screenshots either. It's like he went up to his TV with a camera and snapped a few pictures. This is a side note and isn't really related to the video at all, but if you visit the website, the buffering images show up as TV static before they load, and I think that's neat. Among the collection of photographs is our image in question. The image is of a middle-aged man holding a microphone. He's a news reporter based on the image, as the news channel logo is in the bottom left corner. And it has the caption, "Absolutely disgusting," right below the reporter. He seems to be standing in some sort of neighborhood, but that's about it. Throughout the photo album, there's all kinds of pictures from different news stories, but there are various ones, and this is really unique. The image was first shown on image boards starting in 2010 and thus continued from there. The frequent sharing of the image allowed it to grow in popularity, and it began to commonly be used as a reaction image. I still see the image floating around online from time to time, but not as common as it used to be. During one of my late night Discord calls, the image was brought up in discussion, however, nobody knew what the broadcast was referring to, and even still, the broadcast itself is lost media. So not only has the context of the image been completely forgotten, but the footage of the broadcast is nowhere to be seen. So here we are, a lost news broadcast about something absolutely disgusting. So let's begin. One of the most helpful things in this mystery is the existence of a news station logo. In the bottom left corner of the TV screen, we can see the logo, which reads UPN 9. It's a red and white box with a blue banner for the text. A quick Google search for UPN 9 News brings us to results for a news station located in New Jersey. Upon looking at the images, we can see a few logos, some are clearly newer, however most of them are exactly the same as the one of the original image. Going to their website helped me to better understand the broadcast itself, as it provided a bunch of information regarding the news station. There's a bunch of drop-down menus on their About Us page which can provide us with information like the news team, TV ratings, and all the additional information about UPN 9 that everyone is just dying to know. The only problem with it was that it was all broken. I couldn't use it, and so I didn't have much to go from here. I went to the section designed for meeting the news team in hopes that I could track down the reporter, however the page didn't work, so now I really couldn't look into the reporter or anyone who might have worked with him. Another problem with the lack of information is that we have no exact date for the broadcast. In the event we would be able to reach the team about getting our hands on a copy of the broadcast, we would have to know the date of it, considering that the news is a daily occurrence and there's always something new. We do have a rough time frame for the broadcast, however, as a Wikipedia page for the news station goes in depth about its history. Not only that, but it pinpoints a general area in New Jersey for the broadcast, Secaucus, New Jersey for its licensing, and New York City for the content. Both of these locations will become important as we look further into the origins of the image. To sum up the entirety of the UPN section, or the United Paramount Network, basically the UPN phase of the channel ran from 1995 to 2006, before the channel once again rebranded. So we have an idea of where to look for the broadcast, essentially tracing location of it. But with a wide time frame for a decade, finding this would be harder than imaginable. We know that the UPN phase ran from 1995 to 2006, which is a good 11 years. There are 365 days in a year, so that multiplied by 11 is 4,015, meaning that we'd have to look through 4,015 days worth of news to find this event. In addition to that, 1996, 2000, and 2004 are leap years, meaning that we'd have to add 3 more days to that. We also have to subtract 15 days from it, as January 16th was the premiere in 1995. In total, we're looking through 4,003 days worth of news to try to figure this out. So our general areas are New Jersey and New York City. These are great because our story may not even be in New Jersey, and due to the image we have no idea of the NYC coverage based on the image. Looking through some of the recorded UPN 9 news broadcasts, we could assume that this is one of the 10 p.m. news broadcasts. Looking at some of the different logos, it looks like the broadcast I'm looking for may be from 2005, although I'm not going to set that as the absolute year just yet. As I progressed through a bit of the news recordings, I found that the image we're looking for isn't just an article. It's an image from a transition. Throughout the broadcast, there are commercial breaks, and like any other channel, the anchors give a brief word about what's coming up next. They describe the situation, and it reads down as the caption on the bottom of the screen. However, during full stories, the screen's caption looks a lot more solid and complete. Here's a side-by-side comparison of what the two look like, and here's the absolutely disgusting picture with it. So even the story itself isn't just called that, it's being referred to as absolutely disgusting, as in, coming up next, this was absolutely disgusting. I've looked at other broadcasts from other years, and none of the logos match the UPN 9 logo that we have in the image, except for the 2005 logo. So now we have a strict year. Fantastic. That means those 4003 news articles have now dropped to 365 articles. That is a massive improvement. The only problem in the search was looking for news records from 2005. Not only were there like 1 or 2 available recordings of broadcasts from UPN 9 and 2005 online, but the news articles I tried to find weren't exactly responsive, to say the least. Broken links, unresponding web pages, paywalls, all the thrills of a lost media hunt. The biggest problem with finding articles for this was the year, mainly, if I'm being honest. There were archives that they had from stuff that was like from the 1800s, but apparently 2005 is where they draw the line. Too recent, I guess. So there weren't any online broadcast or news articles linking back to the story. What now? With all the information we have, we can create a hunt poster. Now, I know what you're thinking, we've never done this thing before, what is this? Well, as I've stated before many times on this channel, the intention of these videos aren't strictly to find lost media, more to raise awareness of them. However, videos aren't really enough for this anymore, as not everyone who frequents subreddits or the forums see these, so I've decided to up the game a little bit. Using my very limited graphic design skills of MS Paint and GIMP, I decided to create a On the Hunt poster. If you don't know what those are, let me explain. So, these are commonly used in the Lost Media Wiki's On the Hunt searches. These posters contain a generalization of important information regarding the media. There's a bunch of images and a cool design to attract people into searching for it. Fortunately, throughout this video, we've gathered a time frame, a location, and even a picture, so we've gotten enough for our information for this broadcast. As you can see on the poster, I actually put early 2000s as a time frame. This is because while I was editing this video, I found an old bumper from 2002 of UPN 9 which utilized the logo. I was also too far ahead in the video process to re-record audio or edit it out, so yeah, sorry. This brings us to the interesting part that, we lack UPN 9 broadcast, so we'll never really know until we have an absolute earliest or absolute latest broadcast date for that logo. It's bittersweet knowing that even though we've made a lot of progress with this, additional information can be found that either contradicts or supports our general hypothesis. So what you can notice from this poster is that graphic design isn't my strong suit. However, at the very bottom I included an additional image which we haven't talked about in this video. Why would I do that, you're probably wondering? Well, there are 2 explanations. One is that this may be part of the broadcast, which I will expand upon in a minute. The second explanation is my getaway option if this isn't part of the broadcast, simply there as a reference image. Schrodinger's UPN 9 if I may. So with the poster complete, I decided to post it into a few Discord servers and on my Twitter. There isn't much to be done with it now outside of just spreading it around and seeing what happens next. This poster is going to get laughed at, by the way. I probably shouldn't have made it myself, if I'm being completely honest, but here we go, and hopefully it attracts some attention. So we mentioned that Mike Sachs had a bunch of pictures on his website. I had the pleasure of looking through the whole page and finding only 4 UPN 9 images. Clearly, UPN 9 must not have been super entertaining. So as far as we all know, the first image is obviously the absolutely disgusting image. I'm not gonna dive into that because that's what this whole video is about. The second image is the image I threw onto the poster, a young man named James Dean. I won't go too much into this because it's simply speculation. However, we have a young man talking to reporters about some sort of event. The caption for him shows that he was offended by whatever happened. I think this might be related to the report due to the lighting of the image as well as the background setting. James seems to be outside, as is shown by the 2 cars on the right. However, this image is from the actual news story as opposed to the original image, which is from the transition segment. To further back up the claim that this is being from our story, the term offended seems to match with something that's absolutely disgusting. Maybe someone spray painted something that isn't safe for work on some sort of public property. I really don't know, but if it was something that offended someone that's absolutely disgusting, it has to be not safe for work. There's no way it isn't. The other two images from UPN 9 are from what I believe to be different broadcasts. They're of people who likely have nothing to do with our story, and I believe they were only included on this page because of their humorous captions. I imagine that's also why Absolutely Disgusting is on here, but I don't know a thing in this world anymore, so I really don't know what to tell you. If anything, James Dean and Absolutely Disgusting are from the same broadcast. It's likely, and I like those odds. Anything regarding finding this broadcast, however, is outside of my control. I know what you're thinking. What? I don't live in the UPN 9 area, so I really can't help too much with recovering UPN 9 broadcasts. The best I can do is search the internet and try to find as many that are available as possible. Anything else would be up to people within the UPN 9 area or whoever may own copies of those newscasts. Until they're available online, we won't really know where this absolutely disgusting broadcast came from. And that is the worst news of it all. Here we are at the end of the video. Really anticlimactic, I know. You're probably freaking out because we didn't find out what was absolutely disgusting. The entire video's prompt. However, like every video I make, we're here to discuss and raise awareness rather than finding the actual product, although that would be really cool. I am fascinated with this broadcast. However, I am also enthralled with the legacy of UPN 9. It seems otherworldly, really. What would have been the average news station for some left behind a piece of internet history for many? The fascination ultimately led me to create this video. So now it's time for me to say my piece by saying sorry this took too long. I could put in my mediocre excuse here, but I won't. You guys don't need excuses, this is about content. So, if you enjoy my content, consider subscribing. You can hit that bell icon to be notified of the next upload. If you like the video, hit that like button. Have something to say? Comment below. Interested in my life? Probably not, but you can follow my socials, which are either on screen now, in the description below, or both. As always guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Peace!